Hi everybody, I'm Thomas Sala, the creator of Bulwark, Falconeer Chronicles, the solid dev, and I want to take the opportunity, seeing with all the new content, and it's sometimes a confusing game for people to figure out what kind of game is it, to run everybody through and do an introduction once more into Bulwark, Falconeer Chronicles. So, Bulwark Falconeer Chronicles is sort of a genre-bending game. It's quite experimental, minimalist, between something as chill as Townscaper, or even Tiny Glade, but then with grand strategy elements and combat and trade and a bit of diplomacy and making it sort of feel alive in the world. So that is the goal I try to set out with Bulwark. So how does that work? That ended up with a sort of an open world game. You have two modes. This might not be immediately clear when you are playing the tutorial, but you fly around with your surveyor in the open world. As you can see, there's settlements that you can trade with, you can declare war on, form alliances with. There is unique buildings and sort of smaller settlements which you can acquire. There is fortresses which you could buy or salvage basically. There is random encounters. There's a lot of stuff on the world. And it's fairly big, and you can't see everything because there's a little bit of rain. There are some people downstairs which can be helpful later on. But that's one. So you have this open world. So it's a builder that's like a city builder that's set in an open world. Now, how do you kick that off? Well, the first thing you need to know is that your surveyor, besides being your exploratory vessel, allows you to build the functional infrastructure. So the big pieces of your settlement. And you can build anywhere. That's what it is designed with. You can fly up to anything and anywhere. This is just a spot on the map. There's nothing special about it. I picked it close to wood, which are the giant mushrooms in this world. But as you can see, here is a outpost I've dropped from my surveyor. I can't build anything. I don't have access to wood, which is different from a really chill builder. There's a resource system here. So how does that work? When you see a resource, this is wood. I've turned off all the advisor bits so that you get some help identifying that in game. But you can drop a wood mill here, and you get one of each of the extractors when you start the game. You can buy more later on in the inventory screen here. There's an option to buy new extractors from the splinters you have. Here's your forces. You can grow your army, as it were, repair them here. But that's we don't have any of that. But with a wood mill, you can see it's not super operable. It's running very slowly, and a storm has set up. It's a dynamic world in that sense. I can build, and the building is dynamic. You can build anywhere. It's three-dimensional. And what this allows, and you can see the mouse is different in this session. I can move it around, and it's sort of attached to one building, the one you have selected. I can skip to the tower I just had. You can see the orange ring that shows me which one I will select. Just click with the left mouse button or whatever scheme you choose, and I can go up. And you can see that from the side when I orbit the camera. You can see the cursor. It's that ending of the line, so it goes up and down. So when you select something, like it will snap to my outpost, that's a three-dimensional selection. So that can be awkward at first, but once we start to build vertically, like I've picked this rather modest but jutting out clip to build, it will try to connect the bits and pieces. So here we have the circle, and what's happened here is that wood came out, and the moment I connected it to the outpost delivers workers. So if I disconnect this, just to show, you will see that the wood will start delivering, people will move out. So this is your source of wood, and this is your source of workers. So your outpost delivers work, and they build houses. So if I go this way, I have houses. See, there people are building houses. I can even build these little foundations and really design it how I want. And this is the sort of a chill aspect of the game. So I can really fill out anywhere I want, go up or down, and it's three-dimensional. So look, it can go up there, and it doesn't matter. I can go across, and we'll try to figure it out. as long as it's connected to people. So, and there's more to this. So the people that move in that are sort of produced or they come in from your outpost, from your initial building, they have different qualities of houses, the workers they can build. So when you provide with them one of these things called a foundation, you get these multi-storied houses. They hold more population than if I were to say, let me skip to that one. Here, if I build into the water, you can see, wait until a house is poor. The houses here are poor. They hold less population. So as I'm being very chaotic, and you can design this, and there's hidden build styles. So if you build a better place for people to build, further away from the water, higher up, you get a better class of house, and then you get more population. So the population shown on the top right here, you can see it grow, and every time you gain population, you gain credits. Splinters, they're called. They're in the middle of the screen. So that's how you make money. You just grow your population, and they'll give you a little bit of money when they move in. And if you build bigger structures with better resources, they'll make nicer houses. So now here, that's a fundamental part to grow in Bulwar. As you can see, there's also these numbers on top of my 2 resource points. The outpost has +4 and the woodmill has +14. That means workers can move 4 steps in the nodal network. So you can see the distance here. The green is representing workers, is going 1 tower, 2 towers, 3 towers, 4 towers, and then it stops. There's no workers here, so there's no houses there. And if I were to, disconnect this and that, and just do, 4 steps. I don't have any wood. Let's do a really, so like this. So workers are not reaching my wood mill. So that's so the distance is too far. It's 1, 2, 3. So that's when I reconnect it. Hey, it has workers and it comes back alive. And wood now gets delivered 8 pieces and it's growing. So wood is going a long way and workers aren't going. So how do you expand that? Just build out whatever you're doing. The answer for expanding the economy is always build more. Build more to get more populations and splinters. Build more foundations for this little outpost to get a higher class of houses. And the population will grow. And then the number, which was +4, is now +5. So that's a core thing in the economy. You can see how much resources there are. And then each building has an alignment. We'll deal with that later. So that's an introduction to the economy. Now we need some stone, which let's see if I can maybe get that from somewhere. Let's travel down. We need to travel. I am going to actually trade, I think, maybe for some iron and stone, because so there's 3 levels of resources. There's wood, stone, and iron. So on my way to get some stone. The world's fairly big, and you might meet people along the way, because before I reach that destination, there's a screen that's very important. It's called the soul tree. So as your population grows, and you acquire more commanders, captains, and people in the world that want to work for you. So my population is now 291 for the free house, which is the vanilla, sort of the refugees you start with. I've also sort of started as an imperium. I said that at the start of this game. And I have 14 people who are already supporting the imperium who sort of converted. So they've not unlocked anything yet, but they've unlocked the starting captains and another. As your settlement grows, as your population grows, as you said, you will unlock a lot more people. You can see I think there's close to 50 captains and commanders that bring new abilities, new ships, new units to your settlement. All based on how big you get. So if you're playing the game, say, it's very empty, I'm not seeing a lot of stuff pop up. As you grow, more will pop up. That is a core principle of the game. You need to expand, to grow, to attract more people. But here is another settlement. This place is called Redmouth. It is a built next to a giant volcano type place. It's an imperial settlement as well, so they're probably quite friendly to me. Here we go.
Welcome. Before the war, the priests of Redman.
And I can learn a little bit about it. And I don't have a lot of options. We haven't progressed far enough to be able to have them join us. We can't demand their surrender. We're not at war. We can't even declare war because they then take. We don't have any units. So we're just going to establish a trade harbor. And what do they trade? They trade people for. They need workers, and they're going to give us iron. So that is a trade harbor. How do harbors work? Well, it's very simple. I teleport back. You can fast travel in the game. And I make another harbor, because harbors always connect in pairs. So I can, and that you also do from your surveyor. And once you have a harbor, you need captains. You get an automatic trade route if you have two. And what we need is we need someone who ships iron and people. People, because workers, that's what they need, and we need to ship iron back. So we can see it's already connected. So you see this line, there goes that little boat, and every captain has a unique boat. That line goes all the way to that other place I just built the trade harbor. It'll sail up to here, but the connection's being made. They're supplying us with +4 iron, because I am supplying them with 4 workers. So I now have iron and wood, a little bit of iron, and if I provide them more workers, we'll get more, how do you call it? We'll get more workers. So I'm gonna also need some stone. So let's fly off. I just fast traveled. I see already random encounters happening straight ahead. You can look at your compass. Beneath the thing, you see all the question marks. White ones are small settlements or some points of interest, basically. And the yellow question marks are basically random encounters. And that's, again, linked to the soul tree. So this is a random encounter for this person who is interested for who I've unlocked by growing my settlement. So this is a lady that wants to join me. She's of the Free House faction, and she boosts wood mills. So she makes wood better and more. Well, actually, she's already all set up here, so I can demolish this and move her to my own location, or leave it for a little bit. Let's not decide, because also here, that's actually quite handy. There is a stone quarry. So I've spent my last extractor making a stone quarry. I have wood here. I might want to connect that somehow. Let's see how we can do that. So there's little connection puzzles there where you can go, how do I get the resource from here to there? Stone. And maybe let's get in some wood. So we're first going to build up this area. We don't have any workers yet, because that's not connected. So this is a pair of harbors. Again, it's connecting this wood to that stone. I put in the captains to work there. One moving stone. I don't have any workers, but I can prepare already with the wood, prepare this stone quarry to be much more impressive as soon as I get access to workers. Up, just click. And by the way, you can just use the WASD to a free cam. That's a new feature. I know there's some reviews said that's not possible. That I added that recently, and then you can click and go to a tower you want to select. So that's for people that really enjoy that more classical camera control. So we have this harbor. They're getting wood from her, but we don't have any people. Let's see if I can connect this back to where my source of people is at. Workers, sorry. Let's build another harbor. Let's see, I don't have any captains. I have a captain that moves wood, which is fine, I guess. And we'll go there. And I'll make another wood. And again, they work in pairs. So always make the starting harbor and the end. So now, I actually should have placed it. So now, and because she is connected, she buffs wood. This is a massively producing wood mill. And it has access to workers now. So, what can we do? I'm actually going to move this. Just use the demolish button. And all these things are... A lot of things are just free to build. Like, you can build as many harbors as possible, which is quite upsetting because it's all about distance. It's not a game that wants you to grind a lot. Just enough that it's, you know, you have some progression. And just enough that you feel that things are meaningful. So I'm going to try and hack... So here, connected tower. And you can see I can make wooden platforms. And then those allow me to... this started off as an exploit. If I can stack... Because it won't build in the water. You have this shallow water and this deeper water. You can't build really in the deeper water. But you can build extensions in there. And that will sometimes... see, and you keep clicking. In this sense, it's a little bit like Townscaper. There's stuff to discover how you build this. Oh, I can just not reach the other side. But so you can see you have... Oh, I did it. So I crossed it just from one shallow to another. And now I can connect this to that. Remove my additional harbor. So I've basically removed the connection. I just have the workers coming in here. Not enough. But I can put that captain that moves the stone here. And see if I can reduce the amount of connections to the stone. No. So this, I've created a little bit of a puzzle for myself, but we've got iron. See if I can... The workers need to travel further, so maybe I can just make more so just by improving this very simple low tier... And it's a game is about having a chaotic construction where it's not... There's no grids here. It's all... sort of messy and kit bashing. If you're into Warhammer modeling, or any of that, this might sound familiar. It's just sticking new parts to each other to be very careful. But it's now +7, so we're gonna see in our little resource colony. Yes, that has enough people, and then the people are moving all the way to my stone quarry. Because, it just needed that extra distance. I'm going to see if I can upgrade this even more. +13, just to bring that stone back. And people are living here, but we can also see that they're building slightly nicer houses, because they now have access to stone. So if I were to upgrade this, and see if I can make some foundations, see if we can get some of these newer houses, hopefully, or not. So let's see. We'll come back later to see if that's improved. Oh, there's an event there. 2 events next to each other. Okay. So sometimes these events happen in the world. As you keep growing, people become more interested in what you do, and something might happen. So here are...
These fortresses are of ancient...
Oh, there's some fortresses here I could buy.
We are but humble refugees. Many from the great empire.
So these are basically refugees that want to join me, and they have a ready-made settlement, but I don't like their location. I'm also going to buy that fortress in a bit. Just use the V button to demolish anything, or depending on your...
These.
I have that money. So I bought this fortress, which was already there, and I'm going to remove that as well. So now I'm going to expand greatly. So I've put that in my inventory. So if I go now, I have these buildings in my inventory. 1 outpost, 1 fortress. That's super fun. Let's put the fortress. I am expecting combat will come from that side. So I'm going to place it here. You just use one of the floor up, down, bound key. It's R and F for me. To select what you build. And I might put another outpost here and expand. This is a really jagged area to expand. I can't build here yet because I haven't connected it up. But leave that for a bit. But first... Well, let's actually connect it up. So, connect those two. But let's see, the iron is not reaching there. Maybe take a shortcut. No, the iron is actually coming from there. So there's a little bit, you know, a point. I create a shortcut, and now the iron is going a little bit further, and now it's reaching to both these places. So this is a fortress. I can build an extra floor on that, and we haven't done floors yet, but that's actually a type of building you can find, and that has its own design style. Now that it has all the resources, I can build little bits out of it and create my own fortress with guns. You can see there's little guns on them, and I can change. And this is all free, just requires access. Don't build me dead. It gives you a random outcome. Let's get it. That's it. So this is my defensive works I am prepping. So this is not a game that instantly gives you combat. It's bound to happen at some point. The next thing I can do now is take those iron that's coming in and upgrade my outpost to a proper citadel. Get rid of those ugly wooden walkways. And make some nicer foundations out of there. And I'll just adapt to the height. Oh, that's one messy. I'm gonna remove this because it's ugly. So, and that's a wood. So you get the source of material you have when you start. So that's looking slightly better. And we can also see, if we look carefully, there's some factional houses. There's some golden roofed houses. Those are the houses from your faction, as it were. So that's by having this building from the Imperium, you get Imperium architecture. So the next thing I want to show everybody is we have these stone towers, but now that we have iron, we can add extra floors to it. And that unlocks a new level of foundations. They're happening in the sea level, but we can stack them a little bit, get them higher. See, and we can expand out and get this entire new architectural build up. That's pretty cool. And we can even, if we can try, doesn't it not reach to the... Oh, that's a shame. There's a tower in between. So there's a limit in distance. But we can even keep upgrading and get these command towers, because these, let's call them iron towers. And we can connect them from different floors. And we can create these skyways. And from these bigger towers, they also have many levels of different architectural... and these are defensive works, so these are the stone ones, and this is the iron tower. It's called a command tower. And command towers are defensive structures. So if I build out a new wall, hopefully, sometimes, if this... Oh. Let's see. If I can make... So... When you build walls out from a command wall, from a harbor, when it gets connected, just like an out, it might have guns. So that's already, this time it's coming from a harbor, so everything that has a captain or a commander will get guns. But that's just a side note. We're trying designing this tower up, and there's hidden build things. Like, there's still this ugly wooden walkway in between here. We can replace this. Oh, where is it going? Yep, that's actually that one. So I just removed it and make a new one. And it makes a straight wall, because it's beneath the skyway. So there's a few exploratory things you can do to create more interesting settlements. I can upgrade this. Up, it's missing one of these pieces. And as you upgrade, again, this looks much richer, even though a chaotic area with various levels of population. And my population from the Imperial now gone up to 600. And if I put this one here as well, I can upgrade this one. Let's see if we can get ourselves past 1,000 and unlock some more stuff. Maybe a commander. Oh, somewhere something is under attack. I've turned off the notifications, but here one of our ships is under attack, so we can fast travel here. It's being attacked by a little bit of by a few pirates. And this ship that we'll talk to in a minute also has a gun, so it's helping out fighting these pirates. So there's this little, you know, we're early in the game. We've got a little bit of victory. But because we've grown, we've unlocked Imperial captains. That's interesting, like this person.
Greetings.
So this is another captain I can put on one of my routes, helping me to expand. So these turn up in the world as you threat. There's a new random encounter here. I don't know what that would entail. Let's see. So that's the idea of the game. You start building, and then slowly, as you build out your city, it grows, it becomes more capable, and there might be some challenges. Oh, there's nobody here. That's interesting. Oh yeah, I've turned off all the messages on that. And there's another captain coming in, probably to hire me, but we were, you know, busy expanding in the hopes of unlocking some commanders. So, and this is not one of my prettiest settlements, but yeah, why not? Let's see if we can build a little defensive work here as well. Make another connection with the fortress, why not? And if you hold it, you will get a cap. We were busy expanding this. And look, one of the houses spawned upon one of the rocks. So it's a very procedural system. Let's just build some more. And outposts also spawn little gun for its own defense. So a citadel in itself isn't super undefended. Let's see where we're at. We haven't unlocked a commander, but that's okay. Because I think we can... well, let's see what that encounter is like. So, and our little settlement is looking a little bit more capable. So, I could go out now at some point, and when I have a big enough force in this...
what's more valuable than a warm hearth in these...
so this is a business. This person I've accepted them, and they will make little special buildings pop up in my settlement. I'll show them when they spawn. Let's see. There's all kinds of stuff now slowly happening. I see here is a diplomacy.
We've received a request from the Mansa Order itself.
So here's the Mansa Order sort of strong arming me for some credits, and they can have it. And that reduces their unrest, because I'm imperially aligned. You can see in this little overview in the top right that I have a lot of imperial personnel, of workers, and it used to upset the Mansa, and they wanted some money to feel better. And the pirates, the Bannerless, apologies, are still sort of annoyed with me. And I was going to see if I can fly, while I talk to you all, to that place and buy myself a commander. There's a few things that unlock. There's a few things you can discover in the world to buy for yourself. So we can accelerate this game and this stream and this introductionary video. Let's see how far we are. That's going to take a while. Maybe that takes long, and it's better just to build up. We can maybe also increase our alignment by, well, actually implying a few more of these imperial captains.
My hold is full.
So every spot where you have imperial officers now, you know, captains and commanders, that will influence the alignment of the people around it. So that will attract more imperial, how do you call it, citizens.
You have paid.
So this is a fighting vessel. If we want to prevent some of we can assign them to a route, and later on we can assign them to our battle fleet. Here's some more stuff that's coming in. Yes, thank you very much. So let me defeat this very light, but very annoying little razor beetles, if I can. There we go. And acquire this, which is just a cosmetic DLC item, actually, that popped up. Let's remove that. Are we there where we can? We are nearly at the point where we can unlock someone. So a little bit of growth is still needed. So let's build more places for... And I'm just going to be really messy about it. And once more, if you build stone buildings, you'll get houses that have more population. And nicely as we go, and how do you call it? The metal command towers. Those are mostly applicable for defenses. So we'll get to that in a minute. But you see also now we're getting a different style of houses. That's that craftsman I acquired and allowed to live with me. He's bringing his new architectural style. And also because at this point we secretly became an Imperium aligned. So if I go to my soul tree, you can see we are aligned. We've become golden. This is now our main faction. We are getting these top tier sort of palaces and special buildings that appear that are much larger, that also bring a lot of population, which will accelerate our growth with that faction. Here the system has built one slightly janky. This can happen in procedural game. So let's add some more of people on them to live. And let's see, I think we finally unlocked our first commander, which is a major milestone in the game. And we just have to go out in the world and find her. I also want to set up another trading hub. Oh, here we go. So, yeah. So we'll look into seeing what this is. And hopefully it's that commander I know I've unlocked.
It's very possible.
And it's her.
It's very possible that
So she's a commander that now decided to work for you, or you basically unlocked. So we go back home and we're going to build the biggest command tower we can have. I think I'm going to do it here. I'm literally going to build it up and make it as big as possible. So the bottom 3 floors have foundations. So these are the square items. Each square is just a different shape. And they're always the same if you take the middle one or the second one. The little plus allows you to build an extension. And again, that's the same extension always. So I'm going for the most ugly, quickest one I can build. But we're building it out. We can add more floors if you have more foundations and enough workers. You can build balconies from higher floors. So at some point they become, and that's just a name, but it's these things which you can decide where to want them. And each floor has a different set generally. They repeat. But so like this one will have this one, for instance. And as I grow my tower more imposing, it's about time. So now we have a big tower. I'll assign my commander. That unlocks a whole new bunch of options, which are new for the evolution update.
Our warbirds are at the ready.
Okay, thank you very much. She has several options. The easiest option is you can buy more units, and you can literally see them flying out here. So there are the new units. She's capped. And the cap is determined by the size of her tower, because that's her headquarters now. You can set these units to various stances. So we can set them to defense, and they will start... I don't know where they've gone off to, but they're flying around here somewhere. They're now flying around and defending... there they are. Defending the local area.
It's good to feel
I can set them to escort, and they will go where I go. You can see they're going towards my cursor, all 10 of them. And this is now my escort battle group. I've become something of a force now, because I have 10 of these. And there is, I think, 12, 15 different types of commanders in the game. With different unique units, up to flying battleships. And the other option is to set them to an assault mode. And that means I can use the one button and I pick their destination. And they're now going to that marker. Hopefully. Oh, there they're going, the white ones. See, they're going to that marker, and they'll stay there. So that's how I can command them separately if I want them to join back up. And I had my starting birds.
It's good to feel solid foundations.
I put them
again.
to escort. I can't buy anymore. So, and now they'll form up on my... You see them from the back there, going back from where the marker was to form up with me. And now we can have some fun. Because now we've got a commander, we've got some forces, our population we might have unlocked. We're going to unlock another commander here in a little bit. But we can see if we can, how do you call it? Have some engagement and, you know, show you how some of the combat works. So this isn't, it's not a campaign-driven game with, you know, map this, quest that, go destroy that. It's more like literally a city builder where you get more stuff to do as you grow along. For instance, here is Crabton. Oh my god, that's a giant enemy, and he's protecting a naval command. Again, I've turned off some of the dialogue so it doesn't interfere with me, which is also a new option. But this is an enemy that's defending that ancient harbor. This is a world full of lost technology, and most of it's underwater or salvageable in some way. And here my units are attacking this giant Crabton. You can see they're attacking the turrets, and it's shooting at me, and I'm losing. I don't know if I can beat this, because this is quite a decent boss. You can only get this halfway. I think I need to stay out of range of its guns and let my birds handle it. So I have 2 small turrets on my surveyor, and you can even get better surveyors in the game. But again, you need a certain population to reach that. Come on, win. I am losing massively. And so this isn't an RTS game, or it's not super hands-on. It's just some epic combat for your forces against it. Well, I've lost all my forces now. I'm getting the F out of here. So it's just fairly, it's a casual business combat. Well, I'll let them, I can retreat my forces. It's the same as the demolish key. They're now running away. I can't travel because I am... Oh, I need to go past him. Don't destroy me. If you get destroyed, you just get a new surveyor. So that's it's not a... Again, it's a fairly casual game. I'm just going to my home base to get some reinforcement and take this beast down again. And these little boats you see in the corner there, those are actually, how do you call it, little sailing boats that feed your settlement. People are requesting food as a resource. That might happen at some point. And as we fly around, we can see our settlement has grown dramatically because it's just risen in power.
Good to feel solid
And let's get some more people.
A
And let's head back to the fight. So here's my new force already following me. And again, these are warbirds, so there's riders on them. If we zoom in, if we can, you can see there's a little a soldier on there. Okay, take it out. It must be out of health a little bit. Yeah, 1 turret down. Oh no. I should have healed as well. Okay. I'm actually going to let them do it for me because I have no time to wait and defeat this one. I'm gonna fly off once more into the right direction. So this is like a mini boss that accidentally spawned. And our task is now to take it down. And there's sea monsters that might attack your ship. There's quite a few that might already have happened actually. Let's put her to
It's good to feel solid
assault.
foundations again. A place.
And I can also use that assault on the map. Use the 1 button to set troops target there, and they'll just fly off and go attack that. While I, well, maybe there's something I can do. No, not really. I'm just gonna look from a distance. Again, it's just a stream, so didn't know this would happen. see them. We are winning, but it's taking forever. See, he's riddled with guns. And as we pick off, you can see there's a sub-targeting system. So there's all these little turrets on them that get attacked individually by your warbirds and later by your battleships or any defenses you have. That's and they get shot off literally. So one by one, we have to whittle them down. Nearly, yeah. Yeah, we're about there. One more. Two more turrets. Come. There's too much health on these things. One more. Yes, finally we did it. So that's Krypton defeated. And my units have gained some experience. It's just a simple system where they'll get some.
We need to move this naval.
So I'm going to accept the reward for this is a building called a command harbor, and that will spawn me a sailable battle boat, flagship. So now that's why I wanted to. This is part of the new content. I can remove this and make it part of my base. But this, I can just select it and switch to it as if it were another surveyor. Is a sailable combat vessel. It's like a command flagship. So I can actually teleport to my harbor when I'm here. And I am going to use my surveyor because it's a combat vessel and add that command harbor and hook it up. Oh, and we're already being assaulted by some random pirates, I guess. So again, I've turned off all messaging for the stream, but the pirates have decided they don't like my guts because I'm very much an Imperial, or the Bannerless, they're sort of a pirate faction, and they're now assaulting my my base. So while we're at war, they'll send ever-increasing forces. So it starts off really small, and this is where it was smart of me to put that big cannon, and it's just taken them down. And you can see it's the big boom. So my defenses are just literally doing what they're supposed to, defending. I can even put my my flagship there. Let's sail up and put it in a defensive position. You can see all the guns on my flagship light up. So this is now part of the game. It's as long as you're at war, every wave it will start to escalate. I'll put my my warbirds. I will take them with me, and we'll conquer a settlement. So that's maybe the last thing I'll do on this this little stream, and see how my
it's good to feel solid foundations
so
again.
escort mode, and maybe
It's good to feel solid
buy some
foundations
extra
again.
because none died, and we can also go to inventory and just heal everybody up again. So I have my settlement. Like I said, it has grown underneath me. So I've just put what you do, just put down the walls and the foundations, and people will move in and build increasingly better houses. So that's not an uncommon thing for a city build. And this is a really small one. People have settlements that go up to 30,000. I've seen someone with hundreds of thousands of population. But you grow and you get these massive fortresses. Oh, there's something for me to discover. I can fast travel. So as you build out, it's about that settlement sort of meeting the challenge. So it's not
I will seek the glory from your splinters.
Well, I'll have you. So this is a guy riding a phoenix. You can see he has a cool tail. He's like an ace, so he joined me because I'm cool. And we are going to. Who are we going to attack? We're at war with the pirates, huh? So we're gonna have to do a little bit of. No, let's fly there. I'm gonna take the war to them. I will probably die because this is a fairly. Where's my escort force? They'll teleport with me in just a second. There they are. Certainly have more than that. Did I not put it to? Did they get destroyed? Oh, they're lagging. That's okay. They should. Let's see. Oh, there's someone that wants to join me. That's a good thing. Another trade captain. And I'm gonna make some friends here. Oh, they actually want to join me because I'm now super imperial and they're super small and they'd like to. So I now have created an extra settlement for myself, which I can hook up.
My ship only
And they're
carries
taking.
wood and workers.
So let's get at least some workers in there. So, haha. So that connects, and that's bringing workers here. So that can come alive, and maybe I'll make a defensive bastion here, because that's a good place. But we're on our route. En route. Ooh, that's handy. So here's another item that pops up. Something for me to use.
An old sentry tower.
So it's an old center tower. It's a gun tower and it's movable. So I just demolish it, and we're gonna go to Naughty Log. That's that place, and fight some battlers. Probably gonna die, but because this force is tiny in the game, you can go up to 50 units. Have, like I said, big what's it called? Capital ships, airships, dragons. There's a whole bunch. But here's like the enemy base. And I'm gonna drop down my... No, not that one actually. Well, that's... So you have multiple things in my inventory. And I now only have the gun tower. So a battle starts. And I've added that cosmetic thunder from the DLC. My guns are firing. There's a lot going on. Do they have battleships here? Or is it just... a small force? Oh no, they have a capital ship. So we're likely gonna lose, but maybe that my little fortress will how do you call it? And now battles become just a tad more epic, also because of the lightning I put in, but or the thunder from that other object. But my guns are firing, they're helping, they're taking. Well, I am losing, so they're taking out my warp. I really need some battleships. But you see my my little ace there in the middle. He's launching off his rockets. And we are doing a lot of damage. So when we come back, maybe we will have whittled... Well, we haven't launched... That battleship is really... Okay, so that's a capital airship. And it's really doing its best to take everybody down. My ace is still alive. That's still alive. Go, avoid. And with this, basically what you're surveying is avoid fire and you could bring your troops to bear because they follow you around. Yes, we're gonna win. Thanks to my gun tower. Oh, it's okay. That's. I have lost a lot, but yes, I think me and my ace did it. We actually won. That's pretty good. Go. Shoot those. Okay, now I'm not so sure. Depends on how damaged I am. So they just have ground defenses. But those are decent sized guns. This is on the map, this is a 4-star. So it's a reasonably high level. It's definitely not the highest level place you can fight. It's on the mall, which is another interesting place in the lore of this world. Okay, I think I might just make it. Do I still have guns? No. Okay. So I lost. It's been a Pyrrhic victory. But I'll just get myself a free one. Or I can use my battleship. Let's see. And there's also some diplomacy. Oh, no, that's not active anymore. Let's see what's going on. Yeah. Let's see if we can take that.
It's good to feel solid foundations again. A place.
And I think I've made enough money, but I'm nearly out of splinters, so there's some cost I've had here. But let's see if what units, my fresh units, can take out their highly depleted forces and their, those few remaining guns. Yes. Okay, so now I can talk to them.
What? You've never seen a basilicus?
And I can demand their surrender. And now I have their base, which is a new jumping off point for me. Sometimes there's commanders you can get, or extra extractors. Actually not in this place. There is a pirate outpost, so by not destroying them, or I can remove it, I can raise their city quite easily. But this pirate outpost, if I take it, and because I like the architecture, because these are conquered people now, but I do get some of their stuff. I can add it to my setting, upgrade it, start building it, and because I'm giving it a lot of resources, it'll start to compete with my Imperial Citadel. And if we're lucky, we're gonna see... we can't unlock, because we're at war, a lot of content from them. But we can see maybe some pirate houses spawning at some point. And you'll see a little island of how do you call it? Bannerless architecture in your world appear. Here you see that they're building their own style of houses. And that will spread if I keep making them more powerful or bigger. Just making a bigger tower ups the number. Let's do it like that. So now, and you can see there's a little bit of pirate population. I've got 300 because some live in that outpost. I already have a number of them in my settlement. So that might also affect my chances for suing for peace, because they say, well, you have some of our people. So there's a little bit of a diplomacy system, an alignment system underneath. We can see if there's anything else I can see in this. I've unlocked another... let's see if I can find them. So this turning out to be... I wanted to make a 1-minute video, but it's actually quite... It's already an hour of stream. Okay, so, hey.
The tidings from your settlement.
Okay, this is a cool guy. So I've got another commander, and I might end on this. Let's give him another tower. I'm not gonna go all the way.
I command. I have a...
And you see also when you have these towers, the foundations you build go from vanilla. They go to, how do you call it? Let's see if I can... Every time you open the menu, it'll turn it into its own architecture. So every faction, every commander has... I don't have any money left. So these are quite a lot more expensive. These are hammerheads. So hammerheads are... And you always get one for free when you first build it. These are... And they're defending, so they're patrolling. These are little tiny airships. So they're not even the big capital ships you saw a second ago. Let's see if I can see that.
I have a crew and headquarters.
But they're very useful. They're very fast. And they have a big gun and 2 small guns. So little blimps. So that's a little bit of maybe I wanted to get a new surveyor, and then I think we've run through a lot of what's possible in Bulwark. So this is their capital. It's sending units to me. As the war takes on, and let's see what's the state. We're now at total war because I conquered one of their settlements, and actually quite a big one. The response will be stronger, so there'll be heavier forces coming in. There's a special game mode called Total Conquest that ramps that up to 30 units per wave. So you can have a little bit of a tower defense feel and a bit of a survivalist type of experience. But the main mode is reasonably chill still, and allows you just to build, enjoy, and have a sense of drama with some combat. And yeah, like I said, it's this weird mixture of a townscaper-like, if that's a thing, a chill builder, but there's also these fairly.
Another, I found it.
Oh, I didn't. I've got an extra gun on, so I've got a new gun on my surveyor. That's actually not what I wanted. I wanted a new surveyor. Oh, and here are the bannerless. Maybe they'll surrender.
We represent the banners. We represent the banners. Stay.
They want peace. Well, we'll give them peace. They've given me a lot of splinters in exchange for peace, and I was out of splinters. So now we're back at peace, and I can start building again, and we had a little conflict. They'll get angry eventually again, because they're just not liking what I'm doing. Yeah, so again, there's multiple surveyors you can get. Every faction has its own architecture. I've gone for an Imperial this time, and you can see my city is, especially once I use those command towers and I unlock my alignment to my faction, things go kind of crazy and becomes really cool. You can sail around, and so that is a. Who are they attacking? I must be some stragglers from that didn't get the message. So these are some stragglers from that didn't get. They were en route while we made peace, but they're not much for me. But we got some damage. How did that happen? I think some friendly fire there, or so they're repaired now. The flames should go out in a sec. So that's Bulwark. It's a sandbox game. So hence stuff will happen, and there's some figuring out to do when you normally the advisor is there for you to talk. He gives you warnings if you're under attack or sea monsters attacking your trade lanes. But it's a chill, relaxed, sometimes epic builder that allows you to do whatever you want. If that sounds good to you, try it out. I've just extended the demo so that there's more playtime in that, and you can get to grips with some of the systems. And it's like I said, just the last thing we talked, going vertical. This type of design where you're pulling it out makes these vertical towers possible. The fact that the mouse isn't a 2D mouse, but it's attached and it's like a 3D object, makes that I can have stuff behind it, because otherwise this would obscure how could I ever click or choose something behind it. Go like this tower. So it's a super 3D game, and might take some getting used to, but I hope this video shows it's worth investing in the game, and it gets really epic after a while. So thank you for watching, and hope to hear from you on the Discord or the Steam forums.